Hello everyone. So today's topic it was discussed about how to create EBS volume, attach it or detach it or deleting an EBS volume. So we'll be seeing all this how to do in EC2 service. So first I'll go to EC2 and this time I'm launching two instances. I'll launch two instances and with that I'll attach a disk or an EBS volume in one instance, detach it from that instance and reattach it to another instance. So that's what we are going to do in this lab. So let me give a name tag. So I'm going to just give server. So this server, it will be named to both the instances. We'll later go on and change it. So I'm going to choose Windows operating system 2022 base, and I'm going to be using t2.micro free tier eligible, and I already have a saved key pair, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use an existing security group too. So by default the storage would be of GP2 root volume and of 30 GB storage. So I'm going to create two instances with these following configurations: 2022 software image, t2.micro, firewall is launch wizard 1, and storage is 1 volume 30 GB. So I'm going to create this. So I've launched two instances that I'll be checking in my instance state pending. Yeah, while it becomes online, we'll name one to be server 1 and another to be server 2. This is running, but this is pending. We'll see later on. Now itself I'll also create a disk. I'll create a disk volume. So I'm going to use GPT-2 general purpose SSD GPT-2, and I'm going to have a small size of 2 GBs. I'm going to create an US East 1A region, and I'm not going to add any tag, and I'm going to create a volume. So yeah, this is a volume I have created. So let me name this as disk 2, and this to be so this is server 1 and this is server 2. So we'll name this as server 1 disk 1, and similarly for this I'll name this as server 2 disk 1. So these are done to avoid any confusions to which instance I'm connecting. So we see that both the instances are running, but this status check is showing initializing, but anyway we'll try to connect to both these instances. I'll be opening my remote desktop too. I'm connecting using RDP client. So now I'm connecting. It's asking me the password. I'll decrypt the password by uploading my private key. I want the password. So yeah, we are logged into one of the instances. So we'll repeat the same thing and we'll log into the second server as well, second instance as well, same using the RDP client. So I'm going to open another tab of remote desktop. I'm going to copy the public DNS. Username. Reconnect. Same thing, we decrypt the password. And we'll log into the second instance as well. So we see that we have two instances. This is my first instance and this is my second instance. There are two instances, both are starting. Okay, anyways, we'll see, waiting for this board to be opened, and yes, we are logged into both of these instances. So this is the first instance, we have created, and this is the second instance. So we'll go ahead and minimize these, and what I'll do is attach this disk2 to the first instance. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it to the first instance. I'm attaching it to server 1, and I'm going to just choose for default xvdb name scheme, and I'm going to attach it. So now we see the volume state is in use. Before it would be in available, I didn't show, but it would be in available. Now it's in use. So I've attached it to server 1, I've attached it to this instance. So we'll check if it's attached. We'll check if that disk is attached here. I'll be going to disk management and I'll be checking it. Yeah, so we see that disk 1, it's offline but it's attached to this. So we'll go ahead and make it online, and we'll initialize the disk 2 using MBR, master boot record. We'll use that, and I've made it online. So what I'll do with this, I'll create a D drive, the 2 GB 2045 MB. I'm going to allocate it as a D drive, and I'm going to format it. Yeah, it's created as a D drive. So if we go to File Explorer and if we check, we have a 30 GB allocated C drive, and we have now the new attached D drive for our instance. Now I could store data here as well. So let me store some data if I have something. So let me store this storage.pptx there in the instance. So yeah, the storage.pptx in this D drive. So I'm going to name this as well. We could name this as well, and it retains the name when we detach this and reattach it somewhere. So I'm going to name this as something. Let's say disk2, since that was the name server tag of this disk. I'm going to name as disk2. Now what I'm going to do is that from this instance I'm going to detach this disk and attach it to server 2. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me So it's saying attaching, so we'll wait for a minute. Yeah, so now it's attached, so now we can deattach. So we'll deattach this disk from server 1. Now if you see the volume state, it would be in available. It's not updating very quickly. Yeah, we see now the volume state is available. So what we do is that this disk 2, I'm going to attach it to server 2. Server 2, I'm going to give that same default name and attach it. So now we see, if I refresh, it's in use, volume state is in use, and it's currently attaching to server 2. So if we refresh sometimes, now it states that to server 2 it is attached. Now if I go to server 2 and see, so this is my second instance. Now the same thing, I go to disk management. I go to disk management. And we see that 2 GB has been attached to this instance. So we'll go ahead and make it online, and it's already initialized, so it's online. Now if we go ahead and check in our file explorer, you see it's been named as disk 2. It retains the name and it has the same storage as well, storage.pptx. That's what I stored. So this is it, how we detach from an instance or to an instance. Yeah, this is it. So now we'll go ahead and, so this is the things we wanted to see here. Now what I do is that, let me now terminate this. Let me first detach it. Now to not incur any charges, let me terminate the instances as well. Now we see it's detached. Now I guess from here itself, if we select this, we could delete volume. Yes, so we delete the volume, we delete it, and I'm going to terminate these instances as well, to be cost effective. So these both instances are in running state. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to terminate both the instances. So I'll be terminating both the instances. So this is not an EBS backed instance, so all the data would be deleted. That's what it says. Storage on any local drive will be lost. So I'm going to terminate these instances. So it has initiated termination. So if we go ahead and refresh it, so we see our remote desktop is being logged out because it's shutting down. So that's what we see here. Both the remote desktops are shutting down. Now this instance state also, it shows shutting down. So we'll refresh a bit. So after this gets terminated, all the volumes in our EBS also will get deleted. These both disks will also get deleted. Now we can't delete it because it's a C drive. We can't delete it. But after this gets terminated, now you see this got terminated. Do a refresh. Yes, it got terminated. Now if we see the volumes, if we refresh it, yeah, it's gone. All the volumes, the C drive, are deleted. This will also go after some time. So that's it. We have created a volume, EBS volume. We have attached the EBS volume. We have detached the EBS volume. And finally we have deleted also an EBS volume. That's it. Thank you.